Hi, this is HardballRetro. Welcome to the Retrodome. This is the first in a series of season recaps for my as-played 1985 season. I'm using Digital Diamond Baseball version 13.0.7. As we're going through this, the version number may change slightly as patches are released for the game. And actually, I started this using version 12, I think it was 12.1. So, at any rate, let's jump right in. Basically, the as played season is based on the actual transactions, lineups, starting rotations, and schedules from the 1985 season. And I am managing the California Angels. So let's take a look and see how, check out the standings, the league leaders, and so forth through, you can see up top, through games of April 30th, 1985. Okay, so let's start with the American League East. We've got the Blue Jays out in front of the Tigers by a game. The Indians at 500, and the rest of the league is playing below 500 baseball. The Jays won this division in real life, so we'll see if they can hold the lead here. Again, we're very early on. They did win 5 in a row here to take the lead. In the AL West, we've got the White Sox at 10-7. The Royals 1 game back. And my Angels, Mariners, and Athletics are all 11-10. Also 1 game out, so tight race in the AL West. I know it's early here. We'll see how that shapes up. I do have a plus 18 run differential, as opposed to the 2 others that are on the top of the leaderboard here. So, see if I can keep that up. The Mets are in front in the NL East by a half game over the Cardinals. Now the Cardinals won this division in real life, so obviously very early on, tight race going here. Cubbies and Expos are playing 500 ball. Phillies a little bit back in the standings, and the Pirates at 3-15, the worst record in the majors here thus far. Over in the NL West, we have the Dodgers well out in front here, 16-5 out of the gate, plus 56 run differential, and they've won 7 in a row. So they're out in front in the West, 4.5 up on the Reds, 5.5 up on the Astros, and the other teams are already falling behind in the standings here. So the Dodgers won the race in real life, so we'll see if they can maintain here. Let's take a look at the batting leaders. Over in the AL, we've got George Brett at 408 after 1 month. Jorge Orta, George Orta, I've heard it both ways, 394. And look at Bob Boone for the Angels hitting 393. Lance Parrish, 373. Jack Perconte, 367. So while these 2 through 5 will probably not hold up, it's fun to see their names here. These are all veteran players from the 80s, so everybody, 70s and 80s, some of them. So fun to see some of these names up on the early leaderboard here. Home run lead, I've got a tie with Tony Armas and Don Baylor of the Yankees. Armas of the Red Sox with 8, though here he's depicted in his A's and A's cap, and Don Baylor in his Orioles. That's based on the player photos that I imported, so some of these pictures may not depict their actual teams in 85, but I enjoyed looking at the adding the player photos in is one of the fun ways to participate in these sims. So Darrell Evans, George Bell, Steve Balboni here in the leaderboards. And leading in RBI, we have Lance Parrish, 23, Pat Tabler, 22 for the Indians. I remember a frequently quoted stat of how well the Tabler hit with the bases loaded during his career. Doug DeCinces with 21. Darrell Evans, sorry, DeCinces, I think the S is silent. Gaetti with 20. All right, over in the NL, we've got Mike A. Marshall of the Dodgers, hitting 386, and teammate Pedro Guerrero, 361. So that's a good indicator as to why they're atop the leaderboards, or atop the standings, I should say. Jack Clark, third at 358, and we got Tom Herr and Hubie Brooks rounding out the top 5 in batting average. In home runs, we've got Alan Ashby. That would be an unexpected leader here in the home run department, tied with Pedro Guerrero, 8 apiece. Mike Marshall, 7. Rock Raines with 5, and Eric Davis with 4. RBI lead, Mike Marshall, Pedro Guerrero. Again, why the Dodgers have such a lead in the NL West. The Cobra, Dave Parker, 3rd with 23 ribbies. Tom Herr, Tim Wallach. AL pitching leaders. Got Pat Clements with a 1.8 ERA. I believe I have the ERA lead. Yeah. Got some relievers here, but I'd have to look at their innings pitched, but I think this is right as far as the leaders are concerned. I'll double check the innings requirements. But Clements with a 1.8 nonetheless. Dennis Martinez 1.96. Mike Moore 2.11. Blyleven 2.52, and Milt Wilcox with a 2.66. And actually, let's check that real quick here. I forget where that is. No big deal. Anyway, Jamie Easterly, 4 wins for the Indians. I'm pretty sure that's out of the bullpen. Doyle Alexander, Bud Black, Chris Cotteroli, and Storm Davis, 3 wins apiece. Dan Quisenberry leading the way with 7 saves, no surprise there. Ed Nunez of the Mariners with 6. Bill Caudle, Greg A. Harris, and Willie Hernandez with 5 apiece. Over in the NL, the senior circuit, we have Doc Gooden. Of course, this is his Cy Young incredible 1985 season. He's off to a 0.41 ERA here and 4 wins. Roger McDowell on the Mets, 0.87 ERA. Tim Burke, 0.93. Joaquin Andujar, 1.19. And Andy Hawkins, 1.44. Got Carlos Diaz, Doc Gooden, Kirk Kepshire, and Fernando Valenzuela with 4 wins apiece. Roger McDowell with 3. Tom Niedenfuhr of the Dodgers, 7 saves. 1 better than Jesse Orosco of the Mets. And then we have Scott Gereltz, Rich Goose Gossage, and Jeff Reardon. All right, early MVP voting leaders. George A. Bell, a little bit better than Kirk Gibson, Darrell Evans, Lance Parrish. Look at all these Tigers up here, and Tom Brunansky. And the AL Cy Young, Jamie Easterly, Gary Lavelle, a couple of relievers here. Phil Necro, Tom Seaver, and Don Schulze. NL MVP, got Mike Marshall, Pedro Guerrero, Dave Parker, Tim Raines, Tom Herr. And NL Cy Young, we've got Kepshire with a slight lead over Gooden, Valenzuela, Carlos Diaz, and Roger McDowell. Who's hot, who's not? Well, again, it's very early on here. Hitting streaks, Whitaker, Brett, Upshaw with a 13 gamer, Sandberg with a 16 gamer, but that got snapped, it looks like. Alright, a couple highlights down here. Alright, let's go on to special events report. Go to reports, go to special events, view. Okay, had an 18-inning game on April 12th. I'm not going to click into that, but that's interesting. George Brett, 6 hits in a game. Let's check that out. April 24th. Brett, 6 for 6, 5 ribbies, a couple of doubles. And that was off of Luis Leal, gave up 10 hits. And he probably got hits against a bunch of these guys here. Alright, cool. Ribbies, couple 6 RBI games, 3 stolen bases, errors, inside the park homers by Tom Herr and Henderson. I'm guessing that's Dave Henderson. I don't know if Steve Henderson was still there in 85. Strikeouts, Doc Gooden, 12 in a game, and a no-hitter, Doc Gooden, April 14th. So we're going to check that out. That was not a perfect game because the Mets committed an error. Look at that. That's a shame. No hits, no walks. Doc Gooden, 9 innings, no hits, no walks, 7 Ks. And error by George Foster. So let's see how far he got into this perfect game before that error was committed. The 8th inning. Wayne Krenchicki reached on an E7. Wow. Alright, well, still gets the credit for the no-hitter, but no perfect game. Alright, well that will do it for our April 1985 recap. Keep your eye out for the upcoming months here, and so we'll do a recap for each month, and then we'll do the a video for the playoffs and World Series. So keep checking back on the Hardball Retro YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you soon.